My name is Lori. Welcome to episode 6 at my channel, We Are Quilters. This week we are talking about bonus blocks. We all have them. They're hidden somewhere. What are bonus blocks? And why are there so many? Are they like rabbits? You start with 1 and then all of a sudden there's 2 and then, oh no. Oh no, they get together and all of a sudden, then there's hundreds. Where do they all come from? Here's my little collection. This is the box that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Where do they come from? Well, when you start making flying geese by sewing over the corner and then you keep the half square triangle or commonly a snowball block, that's where they come from. Making 1 flying goose and 1 snowball block, I ended up with 6. 6 extra bonus blocks. What to do? Well, if you don't feel like trimming and trimming and trimming, you can make this crude little pinwheel. Notice that on the left, the blades go one way, and on the right, they seem to go another direction, just by color placement. Since you have those seams, it's best to just nestle them together and then just make them into lovely little pinwheels. First you sew the top pieces and then the bottom pieces. Press to one side, opposite, of course. Then you sew the top and the bottom together. Pick out those 3 little stitches on both sides of the middle and press the middle to swirl that around, and it lays nice and flat. At this point, you could trim that little pinwheel, but I'm going to pick borders because I'm making a lazy man's pinwheel block. At this point, you could trim your pinwheel if you wanted to, but I'm just going to add sides, and you'll notice that I don't even care if they are even. I'm not trimming them up right now. I'm just adding a side, another side, and then the 4th side, and they don't all match. It's okay. I'm going to trim it straight. I'm going to trim it into a 6-inch block, a true 6-inch block. I'm putting the 3 right across the middle of the pinwheel, and I'm trimming the sides off so it's nice and even and straight. You could do a cattywampus one that was a little crooked at this point and artful and tilted, but I'm not. So it really didn't matter that those sides weren't even because it's all trimmed up nice and straight. I'll probably add another outside edge to this later on. But you can see it all works out in the end. And it's a nice, neat, cute little block. I dragged out several different rulers to show you the different ways to trim up a block. Here I'm using the big 6x12 ruler, and I turn it several different ways, and I use that 45-degree line, and I'm making 2.5-inch blocks. It just takes me a moment because I don't usually use this ruler to eventually, there I line it up and straighten it up. Eventually I just give up and I use the corner because I've already trimmed it to 2.5-inch wide, and now when I trim it and I use the corners and the lines on the ruler and I turn it, usually I use it backwards and use the registration lines to help me out. There it is, a beautiful little 2.5-inch bonus triangle block. Here I'm using the 2.5-inch square block on this right side and the top, and then I flip the block right side and the top. Here I have a square 6.5-inch trimming ruler. It has a nice orange edge for the seam allowance, so I line it up, use it the same basic way. Flip the block, line it up, and here we have it. And here we have what I'm going to call a slicey dicey ruler. You line it up using the 45-degree registration line, and you slice on both sides. And I see that I could get a 3-inch block, but I want a 2.5, so I take care of that, flip it, get rid of my trash, line it up on the other side using the 45-degree line, and I trim it, make sure it's nice and straight first, because you can't undo that. And there we have a lovely finished 2.5-inch block, an extra bonus block. Let's do some speed trimming. I do several of these at a time, sides, and then I flip them, and it's all process. Like speed piecing, it's speed trimming. Let's build some blocks. Woo-hoo! First up, we have the beautiful friendship star. And then we have a mosaic tile. Very beautiful. And we have clay's choice. I like the graphic aspect of this block. This one I call economy. I'm not sure what it was called when I saw it. Then we have Lady of the Lake, ever popular. This one, I don't know a name for it. It was bars and would be a great border. This was pinwheels in a 9-patch. And then I also have the variation where the pinwheels are all different colors. A bear's paw. Lots of those little triangles get used in these. This one, I'm not sure of the name of it. This one is like a super bear's paw. It had a different name, I'm sure. This was a whirling block. I also like this one, very similar to the last block, but with a pinwheel in the middle. This one, I love the way it moves from side to side. This one actually was in the book that I looked at in one color. I thought 2 would be better. This one is cut glass. One of my very favorite things in this world is cut pickle glass. This one has movement from side to side with a great set with other ones like it. This one uses lots of scraps. And now to share some of the beauty around me. The autumn trees, a little view of our lake here in Michigan. I would like to thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe, and a small salute to a friend who fought a good fight.